Here we have a SAT math question. Okay, let's go with the information. The surface area S of a cylinder with radius R and a height h is S is equal to 2 pi r square positive 2 pi r h. If the surface area of the cylinder is 20 pi and the height is 3, what is the value of R? Okay, here we have a formula for the surface area of a cylinder. So that is S equals to 2 pi r square positive 2 pi times R times h. So here this S represents the surface area of the cylinder, R represents the radius, and H represents the height of the cylinder. And in the given information, we have the surface area of the cylinder, that is 20 pi, and the height 3, and we have to find the value of R, that is radius. So for that, what we have to do is we have to plug in this 20 pi for the S over here, that is the surface area. Let me plug in 20 pi for S. And 2 pi r square positive 2 pi r, and for this h we can plug in 3 because height is given. Let me plug in 3 over here. Now we have 20 pi. Now what I can do is I can factor 2 pi from these two terms. So let me factor 2 pi. When I factor 2 pi from these two terms, I have r square in the first term, and I have r times 3, that is 3r in the next term. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. Let me do it. So when I do it, so 2 pi will cancel out, and pi will cancel out. 2 goes into 2 1 times, and 2 goes into 20 10 times. I'm getting 10 equals to r square positive 3r. Okay, now let me continue the stuff over here. Okay, now I'm going to write this r square positive 3r on the left side of the equation, and this 10 on the right side of the equation. Now we have a quadratic equation in R, but we have to get it in standard form to solve for R. Standard form means it has to be in the form of ax square positive bx positive c equals to 0. That is, we must have everything on one side of the equation, on the other side we must have 0. Okay, here on the right side of the equation we have 10. So let's get rid of this 10. For that we have to subtract 10 from both sides. When I do so, this positive 10 negative 10 will cancel. I'm getting r square positive 3r negative 10 equals to 0. Okay, now I think this quadratic equation can be solved by factoring. So for that, we have to multiply the constant of negative 10 by the coefficient of r, coefficient of r square, that is 1. When I multiply this 1 and negative 10, I am getting negative 10. So now I have to get two factors for this negative 10, so that the sum of these two factors is equal to the coefficient of r, that is positive 3. I think positive 5, negative 2 will work. When I multiply positive 5, negative 2, I am getting negative 10. So when I combine them, I am getting positive 3, which is a coefficient of r. Okay, further, I have to divide both these factors by the coefficient of r square. In this case, it's 1. So even when I divide this positive 5 and negative 2 by 1, still I'm getting positive 5 and negative 2. Okay, now to get the two values of r from these two factors, I have to change the sign of each of these two factors. So here it's positive 5. When I change this sign, I'm getting negative 5. So that is the first value of r. So here we have negative 2. If I change this sign, it will become positive. The second value of r is positive 2. Okay, I'm getting two values for r. One is negative 5 and the other one is positive 2. But r represents a radius of the cylinder. So radius of the cylinder can never be a negative value. So we can reject this one, because negative 5 cannot be the radius of a cylinder. So we can accept this one. So therefore the value of r, I mean the radius of the cylinder is 2. We find 2 in answer choice B. The correct answer choice for this question is option B.